Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Double Tap MTG. We're going to have a special episode. I was going through some of my old cards I had purchased as speculations, and we're going to go over them now. Not all of them, but a good portion of them. They have increased in value a little bit. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. We're going to talk about why these cards were chosen and, kind of the theory behind all of it. So we have a good stack of cards. Try and line them up here. Kind of what you want to look for when you're speculating on some cards are just old cards. Foils probably are going to be your best bet. Everybody goes after the reserved cards, and you can see just on pretty much any graph, whether it's through MTG Goldfish or MTG stocks, that the price of those are going to increase just pretty consistently, purely due to the fact that they're reserveless. You'll see Phonetic Ifrit increase. Last I checked, it was like $60 up from there was $10. Jumped on some of the spoilers for some of the new cards that relate to like flipping coins and everything. But let's go get started. Not all of these are going to be worth much of anything, but the cost basis for these guys typically were about, I don't know, 50 cents maybe. 25, 30 cents. So here's one that we got. I don't know exactly what the value of this one is, but man, don't you just love the way the old foils look? Especially this one. It's actually in really super nice condition. A little warped, but I mean, this card came out in 1999. So, Traprunner. Tap it, target attacking, unblocked creature becomes blocked. So we'll just go through. I'm not entirely sure what this card's worth at the moment, but again, I did buy this for, I don't know, 50 cents or so. So according to MTG Goldfish, for this particular version of the card, looking at 95 cents, so kind of roughly, probably based on the condition of it, I'll just round it up to $1. So not bad. Increase in profit of about 50%. I'm sorry, 100% increase of 50 cents per card. So not everything's going to be a slam dunk, but really, this card, there's only a singular printing of it. It's foil from Mercadian Masks. And if you look at some of the old box openings, you'll see that each box probably comes with about 5 or 6 foils in any given slot for any given, rarity, common, uncommon, rare. Mythics weren't a thing back then. So, this stack might be, I don't know, 20 cards. There's usually a few cards per sleeve in these, so you can see that purchasing this many might actually have an increase in the value just based on scarcity. According to MTG Goldfish, 95 cents. Maybe it hasn't really caught on, but we'll move on. Next one here is Robberfly. I actually enjoy this card a little bit. It's just a fun red card. Again, Mercadian Masks. It is going to be uncommon. And again, look at the some blemishes here and there, but overall, nice, beautiful card. Little warped here. I do keep out all of my cards in sleeves as much as I can. Robberfly, 1/1 flying. When it becomes blocked, defending player discards his hand and then draws that many cards. These two specs were purchased together very specifically because of that one card there. Maybe nobody wants to block, and then there's a way you can try and get them to block. Everything that is going to be shown here was purchased very specifically because of the Commander format. Commander moves cards faster in value than anything else. So this card, again, purchased, 35 cents since it was an uncommon. I don't know, I have 30 or so of them here. According to MTG Goldfish, we're looking at $9.25, so quite a return on that one. So when you're wanting to do this, make sure you kind of have a game plan. This took years to increase in value, probably at least, 36 months or so from when I purchased it currently. We did have the pandemic, which essentially allowed people the opportunity to kind of dive more into this, since a lot of people were getting the unemployment checks, which caused them to, get more money than what they were getting from their own jobs, which then in turn allowed them to kind of speculate the same way that I did. But I did this much longer ago than last year. Sorry, my mat's a little dirty. I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry about that. Can't see these beautiful wings. But so again, this doesn't happen overnight. When you want to speculate, just make sure you put them in a box, set them aside, kind of like I've done. Mog Sentry. There was a mistake on this card. I got a few of them. There was a mistake that I did on this card, and I wasn't aware of it until after I had purchased it. This card was actually reprinted a couple other times. Got some blemishes there, but it was reprinted a couple other times. In my specs, I usually try to make sure they only have a singular printing because that by itself increases the value. Again, this is going to be plain chase, old bordered foil. A lot of them you're going to see here are going to be old bordered foil because found another one here. Old bordered foils, as you can see with some of the newer editions coming out, and Time Spiral Remastered moving forward. That is something Wizards is capitalizing on. Does anybody see Ponder? What is that going for now? $200-300, maybe $400. But this one has an 8th edition printing and a 9th edition printing. This is the only one that is old bordered. Mog Sentry Plane Shift foil, going for apparently $60.16 according to MTG Goldfish. You can see kind of making out pretty well here when, you know, maybe the initial cost of these cards were $20 maybe, and that includes shipping. The funny thing is when you buy these cards, you'll notice the shipping is actually going to cost as much as the card. So you'll go to TCG Player, you go to, you know, wherever you purchase your cards locally, whether it's online, you'll notice if you're only buying one of these, maybe this cost me 50 cents and the shipping was 98 cents. But that's the cost of doing business like this. Then we have Furious Assault. Go here. Mercadian Masks again. Jeez, I just really enjoy the crispy, clean look of these cards. Again, you can see there's a little warpage to it. I mean, what do you expect from cards that's over 20 years old? But nothing like what happens to some of the newer cards. I think they got it figured out with the newer sets, especially with the etched foils. They found a way to get it so it's not actually warping when you take it out. But this one, whenever you play a creature spell, deals 1 damage to target player. Haven't had a chance to see what these are really worth. Furious Assault foil from Mercadian Masks. $2.14. Not too bad. Not too bad. Maybe it'll go up later. Now we're going to get to another card, again, that I had purchased in addition with this one at the same time. Pretender's Claim. Go ahead and set this here. Pull them out. Again, these are usually purchased individually. Jeez, what a gorgeous card. Let's look at the back. Again, a little bit warped here, a little bit warped. I'm working on a way to try and get these unwarped, and maybe I'll make a future video of that. I'll just leave these out of the sleeves right now, just because I really enjoy looking at them without it. Whenever enchanted creature becomes blocked, tap all lands, defending player. Again, with this one, maybe nobody wants to block your creature very specifically with commander in mind, which is why this one, and these were all purchased together. But yeah, fun card, and if you're looking at speculating, unless you know of some insider information coming from Wizards, you really just want to put your money on how effective is this going to be in Commander, and has anybody recognized the potential for it. All the cards you're going to see here are foil, just because that makes them much more rare. $8.50, according to MTG Goldfish. So making out pretty good. I mean, these cards cost, just where we're at right now, these three together collectively maybe like $20. These again maybe another additional $20 or so. So based on what we're seeing here, it's a pretty good payoff at the moment. Let's go ahead and kind of move on to another one. I think, what is this? Prophecy. I believe it's Prophecy. Inbringer's Revel. You can see I have quite a few of these guys. Inbringer's Revel. Pay 4, return target creature card from a graveyard to its owner's hand. Activate this ability only time he or she may be able to play a sorcery. Any player may be able to play this. So, fun, maybe, what is it called? I can't remember that style deck is called. Group Hug. Let's take a look. Jeez. I mean, like, why would they even change from this style? It's just so much nicer. Yeah, all my cards are slightly bent. The funny thing is they've been kept in these sleeves in a box that is pretty much in a humidity-controlled environment, so these were kind of warped on their own before they got here. Yeah, I'm just leaving this out. Endbringer's Revel. When I buy these cards, especially as a speculation like this, I very specifically try not to spend more than 75 cents a card. You just try to maximize your profit when you're doing something like this. And when you're spending $3-4 a card, it's that kind of, with as long as you have to hold it, this would be $100 or so plus shipping if I would have bought them at a price point like that. But we're, again, like my goal is looking at cards that are undervalued, that are foil, that have potential for commander play, and are under, 50 cents. Now I'll probably be looking at under $1 for the next specs that I'm going to go for. But that's kind of my thought process when doing this. Endbringer's Revel, $40 according to MTG Goldfish, so that's pretty fantastic. And then we're gonna kind of see something. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is my fault. I still have to get better at that. Try and look at some other cards that maybe didn't work out so well for me. Let's go back to the old borders. We'll just do all the old borders. I have some that are not old bordered, but I want to go through these real quick. Serene Sunset. I really like this card. I just like the art. I think the art itself is beautiful. Jeez. Look at that. I don't know. These guys, they're just really enjoying. I don't know. They're nomads. No, or not nomads. I'm sorry. They're out. They're soldiers fighting a war, looks like. And there's a brief moment in the calm of the storm where you see just a beautiful sunset and before the devastating battle takes place. Prevent all combat damage. Target creatures would deal this turn. So that's pretty fun. This one I don't believe is very much, maybe $1, but I still think this one's undervalued. Judgment, uncommon. Yeah, I think there's 55 cents. I might go back. By the time you see this, there probably won't be very many left available on TCG Player, Card Kingdom, eBay. I'm just going to go buy as many as I can because I still see they're 55 cents. And there's definitely some value in choosing which creatures can deal combat damage depending on the commander deck that you play. But so this is just to show, like, not all of these are hitters. Like, a lot of these really worked out in my favor. But got another one here, Nantucket Monastery. I have to check the errata on this card, as I'm sure this has to be an insect. Nantuckets are usually insects, but look at the art. Look at the old border. Look at the art. A lot of fun. Adds a colorless mana. Threshold, green and white, becomes a 4/4 green and white creature with first strike. Still a land. So I'm sure, again, like this has been errated for, maybe the insect type is creature, because that's typically what Nantuckets are. I think there's some beasts in there, but again, I'll have to probably check that. I don't believe this one has increased in value very much. If it hasn't, then I'll probably end up buying the rest of these as well. Again, I just really enjoy this art. It's just so beautiful. $2.22, so it has increased a little bit, but not much in comparison to some of the others. Then we'll move on to here. Oh, these are all extremely warped, I'm realizing now. Gravity Well. Again, these are all going to be foils. This is the first non-old bordered card. That's still nice. Got some little blemishes here. It's not as beautiful as some of the other cards, but it's still, I feel, pretty functional. Whenever a creature with flying attacks, it loses flying until end of turn. What is this? Zendikar? Probably spent, I think on this one I actually spent maybe like $1 on each one, which is why I don't have very many. It looks like I might have more than I do, maybe because they're just slightly warped. I'll try and put up the pictures on the side so you can see here in the video for yourself kind of what I'm seeing here through MTG Goldfish. So $8.69, so made out pretty well on that one. I still think this is undervalued. This is probably, if you're looking to bling out your deck, this is probably going to be, $15, $20 card in foil. The one thing I wanted to mention here, these are all foil for a very specific reason. And the main one is that it doesn't impact play. You can still play these cards in your commander deck, in your, I don't know, your vintage decks, whatever, you know, cube or however you like to enjoy the game here. Because these cards are 35, 45, 50 cents in the non-foil versions. So that's specifically why I've chosen to invest in the foil versions of these cards. It doesn't, you know, change the value of the singles in non-foil, and it keeps the playability for people that want to use these cards but don't necessarily care about whether they're foil or not. This is specifically for people that are looking to complete, I don't know, foil collections or just to bling out their decks. That's why I've chosen these. And then for the last one, we'll just take a look at here, Cowardice. I have 8th edition Cowardice foil. Whenever a creature becomes a target of spell or ability, return that creature to its owner's hand. So I'm sure there's some type of way to utilize this, but I don't know if it's been found. Yeah, see, like you can just see, if you guys rewind the video, you can kind of compare the new foils with the old ones. Again, I feel like this is much more warped than some of the other cards. This one printed in 2003, so I might have spent 50 cents on these. I don't think they're worth much more than that, but this one was also reprinted in 9th edition. I believe the 7th edition also does not have 7th edition, so this will just be 8th edition foil, according to MTG Goldfish. $1.97, $2. But yeah, the reasoning why behind the purchases, I hope I've made clear at the beginning of this video and throughout it. Just finding the value in these cards that other people maybe necessarily haven't, thinking towards the future as far as what can potentially come out from Wizards End, because it does appear that they're willing to push the envelope a little bit more with what types of cards and play styles that they'll be coming out with, and with the new, you know, Dungeons and Dragons set, who really knows what type of mechanics. So you can never really be too sure on your investment if you're looking at speculating on any cards like this. I just so happen to kind of make out pretty well on it, so I'm happy with that. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave me a comment. If you like what you see, if you don't like, it's all pretty useful feedback to me. Again, we'll be looking at trying to do some fun stuff with giveaways and things like that, but we want to make sure that there's an audience that appreciates it, and we just want to make good content for you guys. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.